Hi guys, happy Wednesday. Coming back at you to read another chapter in the Wendell Ivan. But today, guys, wait for it, I have a very special guest. Now, some of you might be trying to guess who it is, and if you're thinking Jackson, no, that's coming tomorrow. If you're thinking Jameson, no, because they're in Iowa and I haven't seen him in a while. So, are you guys ready? Here we go. Wait a minute. Hold on. He's coming. Okay. Wait a minute. Participate. Okay. Kirby. Okay. Here's my Curb. Kirby's obviously not feeling the reading, but he might come back later. So, if he comes back, yay. Okay. So, you ready? Here we go. Yesterday when I read, I got to figure out what we were doing. Oh, remember Ruby woke up? No. Yeah. Stella woke up and her foot was really hurting and she wasn't feeling good. Okay. So now we're going to start the next chapter. I'm going to read a couple because remember, these are sometimes really short. Once I asked Stella if she'd ever had any babies. She shook her head. I never had the opportunity. You would have made a great mother, I told her. Thank you, Ivan, Stella said, clearly pleased. I like to think so. Having young ones is a big responsibility. You have to teach them how to take mud baths, of course, and emphasize the importance of fiber in their diet. She looked away, contemplating. Now, here's where I would ask you guys, what does contemplating mean? So let's all stop. What does it mean? Look again. I'll read it again. She looked away, contemplating. Elephants are excellent at contemplating. Okay? I don't see anybody's hands raised, so I'll just tell you. Contemplating means thinking. I think the hardest part of being a parent, Stella added after a while, would be keeping your babies safe from harm, protecting them. The way silverbacks do in the jungle, I said. Exactly, Stella nodded. You would have been good at protecting too, I said confidently. I'm not so sure, Stella said, gazing at the iron bars surrounding her. I'm not sure at all. Mac and George are chatting while George cleans one of my windows. George, Mac says, frowning. There's something wrong with the parking lot, George sighs. I'll take a look at it as soon as I'm done with this window. What's the problem? There are cars in it. That's what's wrong. Cars, George. Mac breaks into a grin. I think things are actually starting to pick up a bit. It's got to be the billboard. People see that baby elephant and they just have to stop and spend their hard-earned cash. I hope so, George says. We sure could use the business. Mac's right. I have noticed more visitors coming since he and George added the picture of Ruby to the sign. People crowd around Ruby and Stella's domain, oohing and eyeing at the sight of such a tiny baby elephant. I gaze out at the huge sign that makes humans stop and spend their hard-earned cash. I have to admit that picture of Ruby is rather cute, even if it doesn't look like a real elephant. I wonder if Mac could add a little red hat and a curly tail to the picture of me. Maybe then more visitors would stop by my domain. I could use a few oohs and ahs myself. Ivan, tell me another joke, please, Ruby begs after the 2 o'clock show. I think I have run out of jokes, I admit. A story, then, Ruby asks. Aunt Stella's sleeping and there's nothing to do. I tap my chin. I'm trying hard to think. And when I gaze up at the food court skylight, I'm mesmerized by the elephant-colored clouds galloping past. Ruby taps her foot impatiently. I know, I'll tell you a story, she says. A real, live, true one. Good idea, I said. What's it about? It's about me. Ruby lowers her voice. It's about me and how I fell into a hole. A big hole. Humans dug it. Bob pricks his ears and joins me by the window. I always enjoys a good diggity story, he says. It was a big hole full of water near a village, Ruby says. I don't know why humans made it. Sometimes you just need to dig for the sake of digging, Bob reflects. We were looking for food, Ruby asks, my family and I, but I wandered off and got lost and went too close to the village. Ruby looks at me, eyes wide. I was so scared when I fell into that hole. Of course you were, I said. I would have been scared too. Me too, Bob admits, and I like holes. The hole was huge. Ruby pokes her trunk between the bars and makes a circle in the air. And guess what? She doesn't wait for an answer. The water was all the way up to my neck, and I was sure I was going to die. I shudder. What happened then? I asked. I'll tell you what happened, Bob says darkly. They captured her, and they put her in a box, and they shipped her off, and here she is, just like they did that with Stella. He pauses to scratch near. Humans. Rats have bigger hearts. Roaches have kinder souls. Flies have... No, Bob, Ruby interrupts. You're wrong. These humans helped me. When they saw I was trapped, they grabbed ropes and they made loops around my neck and my tummy. The whole entire village helped, even little kids and grandmas and grandpas. And they all pulled and pulled and... Ruby stops. Her lashes are wet, and I know she was remembering all the terrible feelings from that day. And they saved me. She finishes in a whisper. Bob blinks. They saved you? He repeats. When I was finally out, everybody cheered, Ruby says, and the children fed me fruit. And then all those humans led me back to my family. It took the whole day to find them. No way, Bob says, still doubtful. It's true, Ruby says, every word. Of course it's true, I say. I've heard rescue stories like that before. It's Stella's voice. She sounds weary. Slowly, she makes her way over to Ruby. Humans can surprise you sometimes, an unpredictable species. Bob still looks unconvinced, but Ruby's here now, he points out. If humans are so swell, who did that to her? I send Bob a grumpy look. Sometimes he doesn't know when to keep quiet. Ruby swallows, and I'm afraid she's going to cry. But when she speaks, her voice is strong. Bad humans killed my family, and bad humans sent me here. But that day in the hole, it was humans who saved me. Ruby leans her head on Stella's shoulders. Those humans were good. It doesn't make sense, Bob says. I just don't understand them, and I never will. You're not alone, I say, and I turn my gaze back to the racing gray clouds. All right, guys, that's it for today. You have a fantastic day. See you soon. Bye.